Hello, my name's Steve from K-Scale Models, and today I'm doing a bit of a different video. I'm doing a remix on some files that I bought. Now, this is the Leo Spacetime Blitz by Scornman Dark. Seen videos about him before. He's done the 40k bits, so these things. These are some of his other paid models in here. So yeah, what I'm thinking of doing with this is I make an EWAX variation of the Leo. It's meant for the space type. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remix these files and turn them into the EWAX. Now, the thing is with this is I'm using Scout Marine bodies for their base kit. And these models are not designed for it. There's many things that don't quite fit. And you'll find more about that as I go along. So yeah, not quite the best kit to have used, but it worked, and you'll see the results at the end. So just a word on these files. You can actually pick them up in a few locations, including a new place, New Type. New Type have decided to go sell 3D printed models, or files anyway, and you can buy printers for them. So you can see here, there is a few different creators on the platform. I'm hoping to get my name on this at some point. So yeah, I would recommend to check them out and see, is it going to be more beneficial to get from here or go to Cults. You might not have a Cults profile, but you might have a new type. So yeah, and also they sell all the hardware you need to get started in the first place. So yeah, might be worth checking out. So anyway, just a quick bit on the files. So this is them all here. So yeah, and we've got all the different bits that you would need to make the actual Leo space type. We've got the backpack, we've got the head, we've got hands for the new guns, we've got shields, we've got all pre-supported files. Now, these pre-supported files work perfectly well. I've tested them out and they're all fine. That's how I actually got mine to work. So yeah, they would work fine. Some of the stuff that I did though, I had to make my own support files because I'm screwing around with it, as you'll see in a moment. So let's get on to the actual build. So the weapon of choice in this will be 3D Builder. So if I just double click on this object and say it's in millimeters, because for some reason it defaults to centimeters, which is not, it's millimeters, then we'll get the Leo head. Now, I want to also insert my drawing that I've done for the Leo head bit. So, load object, there. So, import. Now, it says my model's broken. I don't know why it's saying that, but I'll just fix it. I'm going to just quickly orientate this in the right direction. Oh, no, missed that. You're 90 degrees. And you are 90 degrees. And then just going to move it, roughly speaking, about here. That's just going to be for reference. Actually, I'll move that to 0 because that'll be in line with the Leo head. Now, I've already discussed what I need to do with the Leo head. I need to cut off the top part and make these eyes. So that's the important bit. Now, easiest way for me to really do that is just to use a couple of blocks or a couple of cubes and start scaling them to the right size and using them to trim off parts. So just a simple Boolean operation. So all I'm doing here is I'm lining it up. Now, thing to be aware of in this particular kit is that this head, like the eye section, isn't quite straight up and down. It's not vertical. So when I'm doing this, I'm going to be kind of doing it, well, I'm going to be doing it straight up and down. But that might not necessarily be the best way of doing it. It's just for speed and because I'm not going to start messing around with triangles to get this done. So, anyway, back to this. So, I want this to, actually just make that 0. Oh no, didn't want that. Just undo it. I'm wanting to make this 0. So yeah, what I'm doing here is I'm simply going between move, rotate, and scale. And I'm just manually sort of moving things around. So for the height here, there, that looks right. Now let's get the width right. So actually, just to make this easier, let's scale this down because that means I can grab the arrows. So move this in a tad, and there, that looks good. Same with this side. Now you notice that I'm not being all that precise. I'm just going for what looks good. Normally when I'm working with CAD, I'm going like, oh, this is point whatever millimeters, but this, no, I'm not going to be doing that. So there. So that's looking good. So I can just simply go to edit and go subtract. Now let's have a look at that, because that doesn't look good in actual fact. You can see bits are sticking out there. So that needs to come down another point whatever millimeter. So let's just have a look. Scale. And no, I'm wanting just this. And I'm wanting this side. Actually wanting the bottom. And I'm going to pull this down 3.35. See if that works. Looking better. Yep, I'm happy with that. There is a small lip there because this is of course angled, so it's kind of messing up. And oh, hold on, I can see bits that are still there. So let's undo. Don't be afraid to undo your mistakes in this, because yeah, it's easier than going redoing everything. So let's make this 0.37 just to make sure that we do actually get this. And then do the subtract again. How does that now look? Perfect. That's what I'm wanting. So I'm going to cover most of this up, because what I now want to do is I want to put a cylinder in there. So I'm going to rotate it around. So you see there that it snaps automatically to sort of known values. It kind of does that for like left and right and up and down. If you are close to an object, it will try to snap to it. Not always useful because it tries to snap to the wrong thing, but it's there and will help. So anyway, let's do that. So right, now I want to scale the back part. Fits. Scale this down. Oh no, I don't want that bit. Undo. Move up. Okay, what is it snap to? Okay, snap to being on the front. We don't want that. So that looks a bit too much. So still scale it down a bit more. Move up. That's looking better. Although, how's the back looking? Back's kind of overhanging. So, yeah. Let's see what we can do about that. Oh, no, I don't want to move. Undo. Right, so I'm going to do that. It's not perfect, but it should be covered up by this. So, yeah. Well, hold on. I want to move this just a tad forward. So what I'm trying to do is just line this up with that bit. Oh no. Undo. Still a little bit that I'm trying to get, but it's being right pain. So let's try doing that. 5. See how that looks. Let's try 8. Take that off. How does it look? Too much. 6. Not too much. 5. I'll go 4. Right, that's looking like it. Let's have a look. No, it is actually still over. So let's back up to 5. Right, I think that's as close as we're going to get. I'll try one more. Let's put 6 in and see what happens. Oh, 6. How's that look? That's actually pretty perfect. So go with that. So next I'm going to go put this in. So just, oh no, don't want to touch the height. I want to move it into position. So yeah, as you can see, the gap, which is supposed to be that, is wider than the head at some point. So let's go and start scaling. So I'm going to do it uniformly. So then move this around. How does that look? Looks like I've went a bit too small, so let's scale it up a little. So deselect that. Deselect everything. How's that looking? No, it is still a bit too wide there and there. So here we'll do oh no, it needs to go the other way. 7.8. How's that look? Okay, that's looking now it's a bit too much the other side. So you can see here I am just playing with numbers until something looks good. So how's that? And that then looks like it's going over. Select all. Very marginal. So I think I'm going to leave it at that because it is, yeah, that is marginal enough that it'll work for what I'm doing. So the next thing is I need to go start putting in that couple of extra eyes. So scale this down uniformly just for the moment. So move this, move it to coordinate 0. Right there, look, I'm going to try moving it a little further back and do subtract. So this one I'm going to mess around a few times, but that's okay. I'm going to just leave it at that. That looks good enough. So the next bit, I'm just going to split that mono eye into 2 separate eyes. So insert another cube. Again, we're just going to shrink this right down. Actually move it to coordinate 0 there. Move it up. Now, that's where I need to start. Ooh. around. So I'm just going to go unlock this, squeeze this down, extend this out either side. So we need to move this up. So that's looking like height-wise a good size. But it's also not quite in the right place, so let's just move that again. Now there's a thing here, this isn't a straight up and down slope, it's, by the looks of it, it's just off the straight. I'll just try this here. If I do merge, oh, I have to have both items selected for merge. There. So you can see there's just this little bit over the edge. So let's undo that. Select just that and move this back to, what did I say, 9. See what that looks like. Nope, wrong way. So 11. 11 almost looks like it's gone too much the other way. Let's just try something. Oh no, not that. I want this and this. Merge. So yeah, it has gone too much the other way. So undo. Grab this. I will say 12.3. Oh no. What happened there? Ah, it's gone into it, hasn't it? So 11.8. 11.1. No. I think it's actually the other way. 10.9. 10.999. So that's starting to look like it. So yeah, I'm just going to go with that because I don't think I'm going to, actually no, let's try one more thing. So 9. No. Where's it? So select all, merge. And there. That's me now remix this. So it's not perfect, but it'll work. So what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to go and do the hand. And that way I'll have a gun that will go along with this. So back in a second. Okay, so now we're on to the weapon. So I've just imported the file and oh, there's an error. Now I'm going to hit repair on this. It'll take a minute, but I'll show you what the error actually is, just so you know in case you get a model like this. So you can see here that there seems to be overlapping faces. So what's happening is this face is saying I'm outside, but it's inside a face that's saying I'm inside. So this is causing a bit of confusion for the model. Now this will print fine, I've tested it. But for what we're doing here with the conversion, it needs to define all these, so that's fine. So now we've done that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start splitting things off. Now this is probably the easiest way of doing it, so that's why I'm doing it, rather than putting big blocks and cutting things up. So what I'm going to do is I'm wanting to just miss the hand. There, split. And I also want to split off back forth. So, oh no, I want to spin. Keep this side. And I am trying to just miss the hand. There. Oh no, don't want there because that's going a little bit of randomness. I've cut off a little bit of the hand, it won't matter too much. So let's do 5. How does that look? That looks fine. So split. So I'm then going to insert the rifle. Now, you can see here, this is considerably bigger. Considering it's for 1/44th scale, yeah. Now, this is also saying it's got an error. I don't know where this error is because I've looked everywhere and can't see it. But I'll just repair it and that should fix it. So there. Again, doesn't stop the thing from printing. I've tested this a few times. So, I'm just getting in the right orientation. And then I'm going to start moving things around. So now, actually, whilst it's in a rough facsimile of the place I want it, I'm going to start to shrink it down. So I might shrink it down a bit too much, but let's find out. So that's now centered. So you can see it snapped to the actual block there. So move it forward just a tad. How does that look? Down a little. There. Now, do I see any of the handle coming through? Yes, I do. So I don't want that. So it looks like the problem is left-right. So let's try moving this over slightly. Okay. Now, just looking at that hand there. Those bits are a little wider than my gun. So, first thing I'm going to do is just move this a little forward. Now, come out of that, I'm going to put a cube, and I'm going to start shrinking this down to something sensible. Move it over. So I'm going to use this to cut that off. So I'm going to, for the moment, get rid of this, but just moving it over 100. So move this up. Right, so that's now, oh no, it's not on there, it's there. So move it over. You go there. And then start stretching it. And then just do what I did before, and that is subtract. So now if I bring the rifle back in, how's that look? Still over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually, oh no, mess around with the size. So I've unlocked the scaling side. No, that doesn't look good. So I'm actually going to put the lock scaling. And I'm going to scale it up slightly. Move it down. How have I done? So, still a little over. So that would be about the right size, I reckon. Maybe a little more. Put it down. Pull it over. Right, so this is having an effect that down here the actual handle is larger than I want. So I'm just going to go in and insert another cube. Scale this one down. Now, what I could do, because I've got all the models in Fusion, I could just go in and cut that handle off and that would be that. But, well, I'm showing you as much of this in Builder as I can. So, yeah. Right, so I'm just going to go and take off that, stretch this down, and go edit, subtract, bring this back in. Oh no, it's this. Take off these. And how does that look? That looks fine. Maybe a little over on this. No, it's actually still, if you're looking at that, it's still a little short. So increase the size of this. Move this down. Keep it like that. Move it down a little more actually. Let's have a look. Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, that looks good to me. So merge, and let's just have a look at what it looks like after merging. So now there's actually bits sticking out there. Okay, undo. Can I move this just over a tad? What if I do is, no. Okay, so it is still showing that. So scale this up ever so slightly. How does this look? This is all centered. That looks good enough. So let's merge them again. Okay, so that's now done. So I'm going to go away and save it. Now, there is one part that I forgot to mention earlier that I've not included, and that is this. On the Ewax Leo, it's supposed to have some smoke launchers on one of its shoulder armor. So what I really should be doing for this video is going in and editing the shoulder armor. But, well, let's just go have a look at the shoulder armor. So it is a circle. So what I'd have to do is I'd have to trim off these bits and try to trim down this to match in software, and I might be able to do a bit of that, but well, that what's going on there? All right, I see. So yeah, so I'd have to go in and trim off something like that, trying to not get the round area, and then I'd be left with like the parts of it still. So split. So you see that would still leave a bit that I would have to tidy up. So I've made the decision that what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to print this one out in full, and then I'm just going to cut off these bits and sand them down, because at the end of the day I'm a scale modeler, I can do that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to scale this to sort of match this. So that will speed things up. Okay, so now on to the actual build. And here's the set of Leos. Now, I had a problem with the video that I'd taken when I was assembling these and showing you all the parts, so I'm just going to have to demonstrate all the new parts here. So, we'll use this guy. So, the head, you can see, is quite evidently not a standard Marine's head. Now, the thing is, it doesn't fit perfectly into the slot. Now, there's a reason for this. This is a Scout Marine. Scout Marines are vintage of 2005. So it's an old kit, and this whole setup was originally designed for the modern Space Marines. So this guy's very much not a modern Space Marine, he's not Primaris. He's never heard of the thing. So yeah, the head doesn't quite fit. The backpack, well, let's just demonstrate on this guy here. yeah, there is no backpack connection on the Scout Marine. So, bit of glue later, and there, that's attached. So, yeah, this is the sort of the normal thing I'd expect, because I am kind of kit bashing here. I am messing around. None of the files or models that I'm doing anything to today were meant to have this. So, yeah. Now, the shoulder armors do also look a bit funky. So, you can see here that it's almost like there's two shoulder armors, and the smoke launcher is in another direction in this particular kit. And that is due to just how the kit works. So, let's take an example. So, this unused sword hand already has a shoulder armor attached. So, yeah, I couldn't really do anything about that. There is one arm in the kit that doesn't have a shoulder armor, but that would look a bit weird if there was just one that I was messing around with. So, yeah, that just got left to the side. So, the next bit that was a bit hard to work, but this is just kind of for the by when you're doing this sort of thing, is the hands regarding attaching to the weapon. So, let's go and demonstrate what the actual one looks like. So you see here you've got the hand attached to the trigger, and you've got the hand attached to the actual weapon that you would then attach another hand or arm to. So an arm like this, and that would be your Scout Marine done. Except I'm not using the Scout Marine's weapon, I'm using my own. So I had to carve that out, or I got a bit creative. As you can see here, we've got a knife, a Leo-sized knife. Yeah, that's going to do something to the Gundam. But yeah, so overall, this was a lot of fun. This is just pure kit bashing and messing around. This is the sort of thing that being a modeler is kind of all about. It's just making things like this fit. So yeah, I'd highly recommend doing something like this, and I hope this video has inspired you to go get one of these files, something like this, and go alter it to your own needs. So these Marines that I've got here will stand side by side with these guys on my shelf. I don't play 40k, I haven't since these Scout Marines were brand new models, so yeah, that kind of gives you an idea of how long ago it was. So yeah, that's all my Gundam conversions done. Will I do another one in the future? Maybe. I need to have a think about, like, is it going to be worth it to do it, because these were pretty much bought for these videos, and yeah, YouTube analytics say I'm not making any money from this. So yeah, it's not really something I will dive right back into, but you never know. If something interesting comes out, I might pick up another set of Space Marines and go make this. So, I hope you've enjoyed this, and if you do make your own creations, please share them around. You'll find me and many others on the 3D Printed Facebook group, and if you share your work there, then people can give you feedback on it or appreciate it just in general what you've done. So, thank you for watching.